Hello everyone, welcome back to Let's Play Talisman, The Thief's Adventure. At the end of the last episode, we had just come to the Plane of Peril, because I thought, why the hell not? Why not try and push things into the end game here? Enter the inner region and try to get to the Crown of Command. I don't feel like we're suitably equipped for it. We do have a Talisman, which is required, of course. But our stats are a bit on the low side. Generally, in my view, you want one particularly high stat. Like the Dwarf, for instance, has Strength 9, the Ghoul has Craft 9. Either of those would be in a position to make a run at this, I think. We have 6-5, which isn't great. We do have 5 lives, which is nice, but you know, if we lose lives in the inner region, we usually have to, in fact I think always, we have to redo that space again. So lives aren't the advantage that they might be elsewhere in the game. The thing we do have going for us is our gnome follower, who will help us get through the mines, which should be the next space. So let's do that right now. I believe, instead of having to roll 3 dice as normal, we'll just have to roll 2. Yeah. So, what we're trying to do is get a total of 0. So we'll want to roll 5, basically, on 2 dice, which isn't ideal. If we roll much higher than that, then we just end up somewhere else on the board. And I knew this was a genuine risk, but I thought, why the hell not? At least we can't lose a life in the mines. The worst that's going to happen is we end up on a completely different space elsewhere. So let's give it a try. Might actually save us if we end up somewhere else. What's that? 7. So we will end up with a 2, which will take us back to the Portal of Power. Could be worse. No point squandering a fate point to reroll that. Let's just do it. And here we can draw a card. A siren's song can be heard throughout the region. All characters must miss their next... All characters in this region, must miss their next turn. How many characters is that? I think it's just us. Maybe the Ghoul's in here as well. Yeah, the Ghoul's here too, I think. Let's use our Orb of Knowledge to replace that card. Draw a different one. Wild Boar, Strength 1. And if we beat this, which really we have no excuse not to do, in fact I think it's impossible for us not to beat it, that will actually give us a total of 7 strength points worth of enemies defeated. Auto kill. That's interesting. So when your stats are high enough that the enemy actually can't beat you, it saves you the trouble of rolling and you can just auto kill it. That's good. So now we should be able to trade in our trophies for a gain of 1 strength point. There we go. So 2, 4, 6 and 7. Trade them in. So now we're up to strength 7, which is pretty good. And of course, for combat purposes, we get an extra strength up to 8 because of our axe. So I'm starting to feel a little bit better about our chances of getting through that inner region. The problem is that our one advantage really is the gnome, who helps us out with the crafty route through the mines. But our craft is not our strongest stat. So I feel this craft shortage, combined with the gnome, is going to give us a bit of a problem. So, I think also, actually, you need kind of both things going that way, because I think you have to fight pit fiends or something as well. Maybe they're psychic combat, I forget. Anyway. I mean, ideally, you need both of your main stats to be as high as possible. But that can be a tall order, when just gaining any stat bonuses isn't the easiest thing in the world. So let's not go back through the portal again. Let's instead go to the Oasis and draw a pair of cards. Of course, we can trade one, if necessary. Yeah, okay, so let's replace the Talisman, because we've already got one. I'll take the gold and Lemure again. Pfft. Well, he doesn't have much chance, but he does have a slight chance. Not anymore, though. Off you go, Lemure. And we'll take the gold, and that's that. And back to some jaunty faux medieval music for a while. I'm jigging in my chair. It's a shame you can't see it. For you. Or for me. Anyway, so he drew an Enchanter and Imp and, of course, the Pool of Life that was already there. Imp teleports him away, which means he actually didn't get chance to encounter either of the other cards. And he's run into Brigand, but he won it, apparently without having to roll, which is interesting. I guess maybe he evaded or something, I don't know. He can't take the Holy Grail, no, because he's evil. The Ghoul likewise is evil, but what's he planning? He's going over there. Lion. He should be able to take the Lion. It won't be easy, but it should be doable. Yeah, there we go. Of course, I don't know why he sounds so pleased about that, because he's the enemy! I noticed the Ghoul has been choosing not to revive any defeated enemies as followers, which is an interesting practice. I mean, the stat gains from trophies, of course, are probably a better play in the long term, because you'll gain strength for your run on the inner region, but I think in the short term, taking enemies as followers is actually better, because say you defeat a strength 3 enemy, that will add 3 to your strength in one combat. Anyway, let's have a roll. 1 is pretty bad, because it means we have to lose a life either way. Thanks to the desert. And this is particularly frustrating because it's our bonus life. We can't heal back this life that we're losing here. In fact, I think it's probably worth expending a fate point to re-roll here. Because otherwise it's a guaranteed loss of life. 4, that's better. So, the runes. 1 card. Or the chasm. Ugh. Alright, runes. Okay. Ring. Add 1 to your strength and 1 to your craft. And of course, thanks to our mule, we can actually take that without having to drop something else. That's pretty good. Starting to feel better. I mean, we're at a point now where we've got 8 strength and 6 craft. I'd still like to get a bit more craft, but we are in a better position than we were in before. To have a go with the inner region. Alright, what's he doing there? Is he buying? He is buying from the market. And he's immediately thrown a water bottle on the floor. Weirdly. Okay, Dwarf is now up to 10 strength. I mean, he is the threat here. He is the serious threat. The Assassin, not so much. The Ghoul, even, not so much. I mean, he does have 9 craft, which stands him in good stead, but the Dwarf is the one I'm concerned about. And he's not losing many lives. I mean, he's been on 3 lives for quite some time now, I think. So really, we need someone to start beating the crap out of that Dwarf as soon as possible. Assassin is seeing a Mystic. And the Ghoul is going to just wander over the crags. And he's being attacked by a spirit, but that shouldn't be a big deal because he has an absolute ton of craft. Unless he rolls a 1. Ooh. It was close, but no. Alright, so what are we doing? 6. Well, I really don't want to go and fight a dragon in the Cursed Glade. I mean, we could take the dragon. We've got more strength than the dragon, even without the use of our axe. But I think we would lose the benefit of stuff like the ring, so we would lose some of our strength there. So probably not worth doing. The Warlock's Cave doesn't interest me. I'm actually going to take another run at going through there. Come on, let's do it, let's do it! Auto-open, so it's actually not possible to fail opening this, thanks to our gnome's help, so let's do that. The Dwarf is in the outer region, so even though he's the greatest threat in terms of his character, his position is all wrong. He's not even in the middle region. Really, he should be getting over there. And from what I read in the update notes for one of the updates to this, the developers have programmed the AI now in such a way that if someone is in the inner region, the AI will try harder to get there. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Even though the dwarf is in a good position to do that, he doesn't seem to have any interest in trying to catch up with this in the inner region. So I don't know how well that feature of the AI is actually working out. Let's have another go at the mines. Our craft stat is slightly better, so we might succeed this time. Oh, takes us back to the plane of peril. Not so bad, but it does mean that that turn was a little redundant. Okay, maybe the dwarf is hoping that the portal will... Whoa! He rolled a 6. He's actually on the plane of peril with us. And he's attacking us. You toss bag. He'll actually win with this too. Oh, no, we could win. We could draw. We could just barely draw if we roll a 6. Oh, god damn it. Well, yeah, I could re-roll, but I'd rely on getting a 6, and that doesn't seem like a good use of a fate point. Oh, don't take an item. Ugh. Of course, if he was actually clever, I think the item to choose there would have been the Talisman, because that would mean that there would be no point in me going through the inner region at all. But instead he took the Orb of Knowledge. I think. Okay, Assassin defeated by the Shadow. Not the superhero. Or indeed an actual Shadow. He's not really a superhero, is he, the Shadow? But you know what I mean. Well, maybe you don't. Anyway, healer. Heal people, I think up to 2 lives for free, so he's definitely a good card to draw, a good card to have on the board for all concerned. He'll heal anyone, regardless of your affiliations. Let's try this again. Oh, 9. Shit a brick. Alright. Never mind. Cave will remain here for the rest of the game. And I think we have to go inside, which is interesting. Okay, lost for 1 turn. Well, we'll just have to take that on the chin, I guess. Could have used a fate point to re-roll, but then we'd have had no fate points left. Okay, so after me saying the dwarf didn't seem to be trying to get into the inner region, he actually did exactly that. So we may, in fact, have brought about our own downfall there by prompting the dwarf to chase after us. But we'll see. We'll see. He may not succeed, because it seems like the dwarf actually is going down the crafty route through the mines and such, like we were. And that's not really the way he's cut out for. He only has a craft of 4. The other way is more strength-centric, and obviously with the strength of 10, that's much more to his benefit. So we're missing our turn there. Ooh, the dwarf used his mercenary. Oh no, he lost his mercenary to the vampire's tower. Okay. And I think he lost a life of his own as well. But that, I believe, means he's now past the ordeal of the vampire's tower, so he'll be... Oh, of course! I think the dwarf actually has an easier time with the mines anyway. So maybe that's what happened there. I actually didn't notice him passing through the mines, but still, seems he did. I think next he's on to the Pit Fiends, and I can't remember whether that's physical combat or psychic combat, but we'll see soon enough. Okay, the ghoul beat up the assassin there. Okay, our turn. Is it actually worth trying to chase after the dwarf here? I'm going to try. Because the alternative is sit back and don't chase after him and basically do nothing, in which case he's just going to win anyway. Don't particularly want that sword, let's leave it behind. We've got an axe already. And yeah, he's moving on to the Pit Fiends. Yeah, strength 4 each. And he has to fight 6 of them. But with his enormous strength, he doesn't have any problems at all with these. He's very close to getting to the Crown of Command, and we are still a world away from being able to catch up with him. I wonder what happens once someone is on the Crown of Command, if you land on them and then steal their talisman. I bet nothing happens, but it makes me wonder whether they will immediately be ejected from the Crown of Command. I don't expect that to happen. Alright, so let's try the mines again. I expect not to succeed at this again, but it's worth a go. Yep, back to the Portal of Power, which means we have to go in the cave again. 2, attacked by Goblin, Strength 2. Whatever. Auto kill, off you go. Yeah, I'm not optimistic about our chances of actually catching up with the dwarf here. It would be nice if the others here would actually help out as well. It's in our best interest, all of us, to team together to take down this dwarf. I mean, I think I'm probably the least well equipped to do that, because although I do have better stats than the assassin, he does have his assassinate ability, which makes eliminating other players a lot easier than it is for me. So I feel like in many ways I have perhaps the weakest chance out of anyone. So let's have another go. If we fail this attempt at getting through the mines again, then I might try different attack. Command spell, yeah. Oh. The assassin is actually counterspelling the command spell. Novel approach. It saved us all a life there. Yeah, I might. If we don't get through the mines this time, I might try a different tack and go back to roaming the board and see if I can find something that will help. See if I can find items or followers or something that will actually put me in a better position to try and catch up with the dwarf and take him out. Because even though he's landed on the Crown of Command at this point, you can be sitting on the Crown of Command casting failed command spells over and over for quite a long time. So it's not necessarily over just because he's there. So I'll have one more go at the mines, and if we don't get through this time, then I'll try something else. 8. I think that's still too high. Yeah, alright. 6. Gain 3 gold. Well, I don't think throwing money at the dwarf is going to help. I could try and pelt him with the coins from here, I guess. Did he succeed in casting the command spell? It looks like he did. Yeah. Yeah, we all lose a life. Fantastic. Alright. The assassin isn't doing anything particularly useful. Fountain of Wisdom. Good thing to find. I could have done with a couple of trips to that, really. We'd actually have got through the mines by now if I'd been able to get to that. Okay. So let's do something different. Okay, let's go to the Oasis first and just see what we draw. Of course, we don't have our Orb of Knowledge anymore, which is unfortunate. Sorcerer's set up shop here. He sells spells. And since we just got a load of gold from the cave, we can actually buy some spells. So that's worth doing. But first we have to kill this goblin. Should be fine. Auto-kill it. Done. Now, encounter the sorcerer. You've gained a spell! Alright. Destruction. That's actually a really good spell. It was one of my favourites when I played the actual board game of Talisman. But it relies on you having something in particular that you want to get rid of. It'll basically destroy any face-up card on the board. So if there's something like a dragon sitting on a space that you really need to go to, or something like that, you can take it out pretty handily. So I always liked that, but there's nothing here at the moment that I want to use it on, as far as I'm aware. Ooh, the maze. Okay. And the ghoul is going to drag his portable headstone over to The temple, everyone loves that temple. I avoid it like the plague. I mean, you can get some good stuff out of it. 2 lives, 2 fate, spell, craft, all that kind of stuff. But it's such a huge gamble. There are also some seriously detrimental effects available there. Okay, well, I don't want to go and fight that dragon without the benefit of my items. I don't really want to go in the cave either, but it's probably the better option of the two. 2 attacked by a goblin. Hopefully that will at least count towards trophies, but maybe not. I have a feeling that enemies you encounter in that sort of situation, you know, as a result of something other than drawing an adventure card, I think they don't count towards your trophies. Okay. Is he still lost? No, he is not. And he's gaining more wisdom. Okay. Desert or dragon? Tough call. The Desert and Dragon sounds a little like a pub. Okay. I could go over to these hills. But there's a helmet, but there's also a witch. 2 bad effects, 3 good effects. I think let's risk it. So, encounter first the witch. 3, gain 1 strength. Not bad. Actually, not bad. I'd have preferred a craft, but I'll take a strength. And I will also take the helmet, to give me a little bit of survivability in combat. I think you have to roll a 6 in order to successfully avoid losing a life with the helmet, but that's still better than no chance at all. Okay, Dwarf rolled a 2, which means he didn't succeed in casting the command spell. Okay. Assassin went to the doctor. Not a bad choice for him. I'm just looking around the board, seeing if there's anything I want to use my destruction spell on. If I was in the outer region, then maybe destroying this spirit here in the village might be a good thing to do. I'm tempted to get rid of the cave, but then it's not that bad. None of the enemies that we meet in it are really that much of a threat. Okay, 5. So we could go to the Warlock's Cave, which doesn't interest me. We could go to the runes, or we could venture back into the outer region, which is, of course, probably a little counterproductive because it takes us further away from being able to catch up with the dwarf. Not that I hold out much hope of being able to do that anyway. Let's go to the runes. And, of course, encounter the space, draw a card. An imp. Roll 1 die to determine where he teleports you to. So he could actually very easily teleport us into the outer region, which would be kind of a pain. 6, Cursed Glade. Oh god, that means we have to deal with this dragon without the use of our items. Thanks to it being the Cursed Glade. I don't know what's giving us the modifier of 1 there. Have we got a follower that gives us 1 strength? Anyway, it's a relatively even fight. Ugh, of course. Of course. Ah! He got a 1 as well. We win. And because the dragon has a strength of 7, that means we can immediately trade it in as trophy for another strength gain. Like so. Again, I'd rather go with a craft gain, actually. But, never mind. Strength gains are still fine. Is he going to succeed in casting the command spell? Roll now! He did. He did succeed. So we'll have to lose a life. Apart from him, of course. Casting the command spell on himself would just be stupid. I mean, it's actually not even possible. Okay, the assassin is grabbing some more wisdom. He's really milking that pool for all it's worth, and that sounds disgusting. Get out of the temple at last? But why does he keep... Oh, okay. I think it's that temple effect where he's imprisoned there and he has to roll a certain number to escape. Is that it? Yeah. 5. Enslaved. Stay here until you roll 4, 5, or 6 for your move. That is a rough effect to have encountered. So what was that modifier that we got in our fight with the dragon? Was it... It couldn't have been one of our followers, and it shouldn't have been any of our objects. I don't know what that was about then. Weird. Anyway, let's roll. 3. Ugh. Don't want to face the Black Knight, because that's pay a gold or die. What about this space? Runes. Spectre Craft 3, and it gets a bonus of 2. Well. I don't use money very often, so I'm actually going to go to the Black Knight and surrender a gold, rather than fight that spirit. Call that chivalry. Pah. Right, so he's going to try and cast a command spell. And he's going to fail. We live a bit longer yet. He, of course, only has 2 lives, so if the assassin or someone could get to him... I mean, the assassin's strength probably isn't high enough to really make a good job of taking him out. But, actually, looking at our strength, we have 10 now. Same as the dwarf. If we could get to him, we'd have a fair chance of taking those 2 lives off him. So I guess maybe that's the next play. But it means looking at the spaces in the inner region and seeing which of the 2 routes is actually more plausible. Although the gnome will help us with the mines, taking the left route, the right route with our high strength might actually work better. I don't want to take that object. On the next turn, I'll have a look at those spaces and just see which direction seems like it's going to be more practical given our current set of stats. And the dwarf failed to cast the command spell again. So, assassin is up, he rolls a 1. He's going to check out the city. Turn him into a toad, go on. Oh, he did lose a strength though, unless he re-rolls, which he doesn't. Oh, he doesn't have any fate, that's why. Okay. He could go to the Oasis, and he's doing so. He can probably buy a spell from the sorcerer there. And he did exactly that. I'd like to buy another spell, actually. Something like a healing spell can make all the difference as you enter the last stages of the game here. So, Crypt, roll 3 dice, subtract your strength. Okay. Well, let's see. If we roll 3 dice and subtract your strength, then we need to roll 10 on 3 dice. Or the other way, we need to roll 6 on 2 dice. Ugh. God. Well, 6 on 2 dice is 50%, and 10 on 3 dice is actually slightly higher than 50%. So, I reckon we actually have a better chance going this way. So let's do that. Encounter the space. We don't need another talisman, but I guess taking it from him will make it harder for someone else to come in. Wow, okay. Well, that was not what I was looking for. Yeah. 13. Well, if we re-roll the 6, then we've got a 7 on the other 2. So we need a 3 or lower. That's a fair chance, actually. Let's spend a fate point to re-roll that. Oh, you bastard. Alright, fine. Back out here, encounter this bastard cave again. I might actually cast the destruction spell on this cave just to stop going through this shit over and over. I mean, we gained a couple of gold, but I didn't really care. Can I cast destruction now? No. When can I cast it? Start of your turn, or when you've just completed your move. Alright. Start of the next turn, then. I'm just sick of that cave every time we get bumped back outside. Failed to cast a spell. Oh, he cast it successfully. It's getting close. We're down to our last 2 lives here. The assassin is almost out. The ghoul's almost out, actually. We are the only person who's in a position to be even a faint threat to the dwarf here. Of course, he can easily go several turns without successfully casting a command spell, so it's not necessarily as over as it looks like it is. But bear in mind that we can very easily lose lives as we work our way through the inner region, so having 2 lives is certainly not the position that we want to be in. And I forgot to cast the Destruction spell. Next turn, remember to use it. Is there an object there? I don't think there is. Oh, it's that sword, still. Okay. Don't. Come on, roll 3 or less. Come on, dwarf. Roll badly. You can do it. I mean, you can't do it. There we go. Yes. Okay. So we survived that little bit longer. The assassin. Go for the magic portal. Go on. Oh, crags. Good roll, assassin. Well played. Alright. Well, that's not a big problem for him. Oh, it shouldn't be. Okay. Take that down. Ghouls up next. Just across the river there. Glaring at each other. Okay, Ghoul has gone back into the outer region to tackle the shadow, which he can destroy easily. Now we're back to our turn. Let's cast Destruction. It says start of your turn. Start of your turn! Ugh. What, do we have to roll first? Or what? No. It says cast it at the start of your turn. Look. Cast at the start of your turn. Why can't I cast it now? This is the start of my turn. Fine. Fuck you, weird, quirky bugs of Talisman. Alright. Can we cast it now? We can. So it's not actually the start of your turn. It's after you move. Only. Anyway, let's cast Destruction. And we're going to cast it on there. Take out the cave. Boom! Off you go. There goes the casting clock. And the cave has gone. So now we can encounter our space. Roll 3 dice. Ooh! We've actually made it. We rolled that 10 that we needed. So, next turn, we're actually going to be moving on to the next space, which is Dicing with Death. Probably my least favourite space in the whole of the inner region because it's pure chance. Your stats make no difference whatsoever. It's just roll the dice and hope that he doesn't kill you, basically. Such heroic feats, pure chance. Anyway, Assassin should be able to take out the wolf without too much difficulty. In fact, he got an auto kill. Okay. What's the ghoul up to? He's going over there. Ogre. Yeah, still kind of a threat to the ghoul, actually. He's not that strong physically. But it worked out for him. Okay. And now it's us. We move on. Dice with Death. Alright. Roll 2 dice for yourself and 2 dice for death. If your score is lower, lose a life. If it's higher, move on. So we want to roll high this time. Oh, that's not great. And we don't have any fate points left to do anything with that. Shit. Alright, so we lose a life. Our penultimate life. We're very, very close to being done here. And remember that even if we survive the inner region, we then have to battle it out with the dwarf and successfully kill him twice without being killed. So it's a very, very long shot. But we have to try! Such is the spirit of adventure and heroism that motivates all the characters in Talisman. Well, apart from people like assassins and necromancers, I guess. And actually, even us, we're a thief. Not much heroism in that, unless you're stealing something heroic, I guess. Or a hero. Alright, water bottle. Yeah. Not a bad choice of item. Just don't buy another one. Did he buy a raft? I couldn't tell. Alright, well, we have no choice but to just roll again. Oh, piss off. Really? We're done here. He's not going to roll a double one. Alright, I think we're finished, and I suspect we're actually out of the game. You may start again on your next turn, as long as no other players reach the Crown of Command. Well, the dwarf has. So I think we're actually out. So now, it's basically just down to the dwarf to finish everyone off. I'll give it a few minutes. If it seems like it's just going to drag on for ages, then we'll maybe call it a day. But I feel like I should give the dwarf his chance, to actually reach victory here. Unfortunately, the assassin has regained several lives, so he might actually stick it out for a while yet, but the ghoul is on his last legs. Come on, dwarf. You can do it. Finish them off. Yeah, you do that thing. Okay, so ghoul is out. And the assassin's down to 2. 2 more command spells should finish him off. And frankly, there isn't a lot he can do. I mean, his craft is up to a level where he might be able to have a half-plausible punt at the inner region, but he's nowhere even near it. He doesn't even have a talisman. He's buggered, basically. He's not going to be able to get all the things he needs to get, and race all the way over there, and fight his way through the inner region with the stats that he's got, all before the dwarf rolls a couple more command spells. I mean, in theory it's possible, but it's not going to happen. It's just not. And, in principle, the dwarf could roll 105 more rolls of 1 to 3, which would just mean that he casts no command spells. But realistically, no. Okay, so the assassin is now down to 1 remaining life. We're basically just watching the dwarf go through the motions of stamping out all remaining resistance at this point. Yep, there we go. It's all over. It's all over. The AI-controlled dwarf takes the game, takes the Crown of Command, and rules this whole monster-littered kingdom. Good for you, dwarf. You get 1 celebratory clap. So, to the rest of you who are not roaming the kingdom, trying to find adventure and crowns that allow you to kill people with your brain, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching me explore Talisman Digital Edition once again. A lot of the bugs and weird AI quirks and things that I complained about previously have actually been ironed out. It's still an early access game, it's still unfinished, and believe me, if you saw me play it online, you would see how absolutely bug-riddled the online side is. But it is still unreleased. So, definitely worth keeping an eye on if you like this kind of thing. And if you can play it locally, then that is absolutely fine. No problems with that at all. So, thanks for watching. Rejoin me next time I upload a video and, find out what it is. So, until then, bye for now.